Howdy, this is Liz, and I have another Flow Style Junk Journal to show you. A Flow Style Junk Journal is one that's designed to have the parts taken out of it and remade into your own junk journal or other craft project. This is called the Birds of Paradise. It uses a lot of paper from Scrap Berries collection of Birds of Paradise. And it is made of 12 by 12 inch scrapbook paper, which I fold in half, so it's 6 inches wide this way, and it's 9 inches tall because I fold 3 inches over to form the front pocket. And it's a single signature. It's held together by 3 different strands of fiber. There are 2 variegated cottons and a light blue, and that is wrapped around twice through the center of the signature, so you get quite a bit of the fibers. Okay, the front pocket has, I don't know that it's officially Project Life, but it's a similar card to it that says, "What's the story?" And then a double-sided piece of scrap paper. This is one of the Birds of Paradise papers. It's quite nice. Most of those are double-sided. And this one has picture frames. It's peach. It coordinates on this side. It's a little heavy on the back with the black and white printing. This is a bridge score pad. And this is a cutting from an amazing book I got that's a whole series of panels of watercolors. There are no words in the whole book. And they're animals on both sides and quite nice. All right, that is the front pocket. And then the front page is a sheet from a stamp album, and I think this is from the 60s. And I don't believe there are any stamps attached to it, but there's nice artwork. And this page is from Tunisia, 1965. And then this is another piece of the scrapbook paper from the Birds of Paradise book. It is double-sided. It has quite nice flower illustration. This one as well. This is blue, and it has a print of tone-on-tone green birds on the back. And there are a whole bunch of 3x3 squares of fabric in this book, which coordinate with the collection. So I have put them in there. I usually put them in an envelope in the center, and I decided that they were just too nice to tuck away that way. Again, this is the Birds of Paradise. I largely went with paper that wasn't too heavily antiqued, with the exception of this. This page is from an old reader, and it was really heavily used, and I love the natural wear on it from probably a dozen or more children through the years reading in it at school. And there's some pencil marks as well as they were doing their lessons. And then I have teacher's attendance page and another paper from the Birds of Paradise. The colors in this are very nice. There are some bright reds that are sort of a pinkish red. It's printed on both sides again. This is the fabric. And this one I pulled out because it had a lot of the similar colors to the Bird of Paradise collection. An old dictionary page. This is a page that I did with a stencil and spray ink, and if you turn it this way you can see it's a bird on a branch, but it goes nicely with the Bird of Paradise. This is not from that Bird of Paradise collection, it's a different one, but there was some wonderful orange tones and aquas that coordinated. And throughout the book you'll find some of these cuts that I made from one of the pages. I think there were actually 2 pages in the set that had words or little pictures, and I cut them down so that they would fit in different parts. And a lot of these pinkish red birds in there as well. This is a new acquisition for me. It's a book in Russian. I just love the look. This is a book about mothers, and it has wonderful little illustrations and lace and poetry. This is a book called St. Elmo from the 1890s. Another page from the Bird of Paradise and some words. This one isn't double-sided, by the way. And then this fabulous fabric is actually a bird print, and it's kind of Escher-esque. It's got sort of interlocking bird prints, bird figures in it. See if I can get that back attached there. And this is another dictionary page, but from a slightly different dictionary. It's got a much smaller font in the text and 3 columns. This is another one from the Bird of Paradise collection, and it puts a little purple in there. And then the back is a gray and white print, and this is another double-sided. I love this fabric. Love this fabric. There you go. I love putting artwork into my junk journals. This is a wonderful old painting. And then I think this is Odysseus and the Sphinx. This is another one that I did with the spray alcohol inks. It's just a very confetti texture. This is a book on shorthand that's quite old. I think it's from like the 1920s or earlier. And another fabric, and more of the Bird of Paradise prints. And I like this one. I'm not as wild about the turquoise and peach on the back, so if it were me, I'd probably cover that one up. This is from Hymnal, another Bird of Paradise print. And this, I love this one on the back. More little bird cutouts and fabric. And this is another Reader. 6th grade, it says. That's probably 30s, maybe 20s. And in this envelope, I have a bunch of cuts that I have done. And some of them are a little bit delicate. One of the pages in this collection had birds and flowers and leaves. And I put it on my scan and cut. And I had to run it through a couple of times, but it cut out the little birds. And I think there are 3 birds in every envelope and a bunch of little flowers and leaves for you to attach. But these are quite delicate. And then in my collection, I found another red and pink print of birds, which I quite like, held together with a little washi tape. I decided to do another big page with a pocket in the center because I had a few more things to include. It's a red Christmas card and this wonderful purple paper on one side and gray on the back of bird cages. And you can see it goes so nicely with these. And then one of my favorite new stamps, new to me at least, I just love this one, and this is blue and embossed with embossing powder. And then there are a couple of large prints of the birds that I cut up in this pocket as well. And then on the back of this, it's a little collection of buttons that go with this. I try to include a couple of vintage buttons in there and some that I think are mother of pearl. Then again, this is a page from one of the Readers. And the scrapbook paper. This one has birds on it, but once I got it cut out, I decided that I liked the tone-on-tone better. And then these are the back sides of a lot of these. This is another one of the Project Life cards. It says Laugh. It has gray on the back. And the shorthand. And the spray page. This one I did some stamping on. This is a green tone-on-tone piece of fabric. Those are all 3" by 3" squares that have been washed and ironed. And the dictionary page. If you hear some noises, it's because we're having a huge storm outside. The wind is supposed to be blowing over 50 miles an hour, and we're hoping not to lose power. And these other pages, love that illustration there. It says, "Call her blessed." Light green fabric. And the page that I sprayed, you may want to cut down for your book, but I put the other half in so that you could use this little piece as well, because we're economical with our scraps. Those are 2 different fabrics. And the other Reader. and the stamp page, and in the back pocket I have one of those Project Life cards with different patterns, and a pink double-sided scrapbook paper, and a 3-page order pad, and I have a picture down. This is a page from a children's book that I have. All right, this is going to go up in my Etsy store, and again, it's called Birds of Paradise. Thanks so much for watching.